Okay. How's everybody doing today? Or tonight, depending on where you might be. Can you hear me okay? I was setting up my microphone just now. I want to make sure it is functioning properly and I sound all right. Glenn, would you let me know in the chat? And if you can't hear me, I need to know now, all right? But thanks for coming, everybody. Where are you tuning in from? Let me know in the chat. Glenn, thank you for moderating. I appreciate it. Glenn is our moderator, a volunteer, everyone, so please treat Glenn with the utmost respect. All right, audio's good. I'm glad to hear it. Okay, so what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the latest archaeological and ancient history news. And just in the last month, the month of July, all the things that have come out. Every month I do this and I curate for you what I think are the most interesting ones. And of course, I do make my focus ancient history. So we don't really get into medieval stuff. We don't really get into prehistory. But I got lots of great ancient history news for you today. So I think you're going to like it, all right? Yeah. We got someone from Spokane. Okay, we've got southeastern Massachusetts. So we've definitely got Americans here today. Monroe, Washington. All right. England. All right, Chris as our first international viewer today. All right. Glad to have you. Jack, you're in Croatia. Oh, the world traveler. Jack is signed up to go on my next tour. I don't know if anyone's interested, but we're going to be just looking and exploring at Mesoamerica to find the origins of the Olmecs. And we're going to look at the Maya ruins and the Zapotec ruins. And you're going to have me along with you to teach you all about it. So if you're interested in that, there's a link below the video if you want to get involved. All right. Anyway, let's get into the news, shall we? All right. Can you see my screen all right there? Velvet Goldmine says, I'm finally able to watch one of these live. I'm in the coastal redwoods of California. All right, glad to have you, Velvet. Rad's coming in from Jordan. We've got someone from India, Toronto, Arkansas. We've got someone from another person from Washington. All right, Aubrey, you missed the last couple live ones. Glad I made this one. I'm glad you could be here. Sean from Australia. Hi, Sean. So people from all over. That's great. Well, we're going to be talking about news from all over. And look at this first one. Archaeologists unveil 3,500-year-old city in Peru. What? Did they have cities that old in Peru? Yes, they do. We actually knew about cities a little bit older than this. Not much. But perhaps you've heard of the Norte Chico civilization, usually called the Corral Supe civilization, or just the Corral civilization. Anyway, this is slightly after that, but not much. Okay? Look at this. Yeah, this is in Peru's northern Barranca province. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. At a site called Penico. It was believed to be a key trading hub connecting early Pacific Coast communities with those living in the Andes Mountains and Amazon Basin. 3,500 years old. Okay? It's about 1,970 feet above sea level. And you can see some of the similarities in the structures here with what we know from Corral Supe. So probably a descendant culture, something like that. But look at this is some of the drone footage from the site. Penico is situated close to where Corral, recognized as the oldest known civilization in the Americas, was established 5,000 years ago, at around 3000 BC. Just remember, when we're talking about 3,500 years ago, this would be 1500 BC. So, so it's sometime later. But it has Corral has 32 monuments, including large pyramid structures. Okay? But the archaeologist in charge of Penico is Dr. Ruth Shady, and she was involved also in the excavations at Corral, so she knows something about this. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to hear more coming out of this area. But maybe I should take a tour to Peru, huh? And we can go here if I can get permission. That would be fantastic. We got someone from Northern California. We've got, Sarina says, Olmec, is that Mo Professor of Nicolas Cage and National Treasure movie joining? Oh, are the Olmecs mentioned in that? It's been so long since I've seen that movie. But maybe it probably is. Kissy Kissy says, these latest archaeological discoveries are the highlight of my month. Well, for me too. Not because I'm presenting it, but because I get to research it, you know? But this is great. All right, let's look at another one. This one made a bit of a splash when it was announced. Researchers sequence the first genome from ancient Egypt. Now, to be clear here, DNA samples have been taken from Egypt before, and parts of the genomes have been sequenced. But this is the first full genome that has been sequenced from ancient Egypt. All right? And the researchers are from the Francis Crick Institute and the Liverpool John Moores University. This person lived around 4,500 to 4,800 years ago. Now that puts it into the Old Kingdom of Egypt. That's the age of the pyramids, everybody. The research was published in Nature. I actually think I have that here too. Yeah, here's the actual article from Nature. Whole genome ancestry of an Old Kingdom Egyptian. It's just one person whose genome they sequenced. All right. And this is kind of a controversial topic. I don't know if you know why this might be controversial, but for some reason, everybody wants to be related to the ancient Egyptians. I guess because they're such a great civilization, right? So you have people, you know, on various sides. There are people that claim that the Egyptians, or at least the Egyptian rulers, were white, and there are those who say that all the ancient Egyptians were black, you know, sub-Saharan African. But for a long time, scholarship has believed that because Egypt is on the crossroads of basically the northern Africa, sub-Saharan Africa, and West Asia, that it was probably a mixture of people from all three of those areas, right? Anyway, this particular sample was taken in the northern part of Egypt, so maybe you can guess how it came out. Oh, by the way, this is a pottery vessel that contained the remains, and you can see the remains here. All right, and they even did a facial reconstruction of the individual right here. Isn't that pretty cool? And there's the tombs where it was found. All right, and the article also has all kinds of charts and graphs and things, the original article here, that tells you, you know, has all the scientific information for you. I'll leave a link for that. But bottom line is, it was, I'm going off memory here. I'm pretty sure it was, let me double check. I think it was 80% North African. Yeah, 80% North African, 20% from West Asia. Mesopotamia. So you might say, oh, you mean no sub-Saharan African ancestry? That's correct. That's correct. However, don't start jumping to conclusions here. This is one person, okay? One person doesn't determine what the whole makeup of Egypt is, and it's in the northern part of Egypt. We've already taken DNA samples from southern Egypt, and there have been people with sub-Saharan African ancestry found in southern Egypt. So this is just adding another piece to the puzzle, but it is a very interesting discovery that I thought I would share with you. Okay? I would consider joining you in Peru, says Rad. Okay, all right. Well, Rad, why don't you test things out and come with us to Mesoamerica? You know, it'll be a lot of fun. The Olmecs, the Maya, the Zapotecs. All right. Hello from San Francisco Bay Area. All right, we've got people from the West Coast here for sure. So who won, David or Flint? You're referring to my recent appearance on Flint Dibble's channel a few days ago. Yes, I was on Flint's channel and we debated. It was more like a heated discussion, but we did debate over whether you can prove that a lost advanced civilization in the last ice age existed or not. And I was on the no side. But you can check that out when you get a chance. Yeah. Basil says, a lot of recent artifact discoveries in Heraclea Sintica in Bulgaria. The archaeologists are sharing videos on Facebook from the moment they excavate something. I think I might have it on my list here. Now I'm forgetting. But thank you for sharing. Can't wait till they find Jesus and run DNA. Hello, Dr. Miano. Always appreciate your content. Thank you, Andrew. All right, let's look at another one, shall we? Husband and wife archaeologists from University of Houston discover tomb of ancient ruler. Okay, where is this? This is in Belize, okay? And can you Belize it? When I was in Belize, they always made that joke, so don't blame me, okay? Belize, of course, is in Mesoamerica, and it was an area where the Maya lived. And I got to visit, actually, some of the sites there, including this one. I actually have a video. You can check out Season 2 of Antiquities Explorer, Antiquities Travel Guide, and you will find a whole episode on Caracol. Amazing site, way out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we had to drive through all these dirt roads to get out there for a long time. It's an amazing site, okay? But that was all before this happened. So Arlen and Diane Chase, they've been excavating there for many years, okay? They unearthed the tomb of Tikab Chak, the first king of the ancient Maya city of Caracol. He founded the royal dynasty that spanned more than 460 years, all right? So yeah, so you can here you see it. This is the founder of the ruling dynasty of the city. This is a major discovery, okay? So it has a little bit of history about how the couple got started working there. But these findings over the years revealed connections to Teotihuacan, which is about 750 miles away, which is cool. And there they are there. They're from the University of Houston, if I didn't mention that. The ruler who acceded to the Caracol throne in the year 331, that's of our common era, was buried at the base of a royal family shrine, along with jewelry, a mosaic mask, pottery, shelves, and carved bone tubes, among other materials. And depicted in the tomb were images of a Maya god of traders, along with a Maya ruler holding a spear. No other pictures have been released here that I can see. But anyway, we'll probably get more from them in the months to come. But I thought I would share that one with you. Yeah, it's so exciting to discover new things like this. And the Maya world is ripe for discovery because there's so much that's still there. Actually, the Americas in general, with all the LiDAR they've been doing, they've been finding many uncovered cities and so forth. So there's a lot more that's going to be found. So it's very exciting times, for sure. Let's see. Love your updates. Also reporting from the Santa Cruz coastal redwood region. Okay. All right, Venus. Glad that you could be here. Here's another one. No, I got my ad blocker on. All right. Rare 6,000-year-old rock panel discovered in Egypt may depict a member of the first dynasty elite. Look at this. 6,000 years old. That puts us, actually, this is before the 6,000 years old is before the first dynasty. I think that's worded wrong, if I'm not mistaken. This is near Aswan. Okay, and you're just looking at the picture. There's a little bit of a, can you see the picture on the rock there? It's a little carving on the rock there. Can you tell what it is? It's a boat. I don't know if you could tell, but it is probably a royal boat. All right. Aswan is in the south of Egypt, in case you didn't know. My recent videos have been about Aswan and things we have found there. Yeah, so this may depict a member of the ruling elite during the early days of the Egyptian state. Now, my understanding is this is not first dynasties, this is pre-first dynasty, okay? What has caught the experts' attention is the presence of a seated character atop a structure that researchers interpreted as a palanquin, a status symbol reserved for individuals of high rank. Here you can see a drawing of it, okay? And on it, I don't know if you can see you can't see my mouse. No, I guess you can't see my mouse. But in the middle, sort of on the boat, there's a raised platform and there's a person sitting on it. Okay, that's the palanquin it's talking about, and they believe it is a ruler. And they even say, although I cannot actually see that, but they say that it looks like there might be a false beard on this person, which of course is what later rulers wore. Okay, yeah. So this is we're talking about 4000 BCE. This is a long time ago, and so they don't know who it is. Okay, there's no identifying writing or anything like that, but they think it's depicting an early ruler. Oh, how do they know it's this old? It's been carbon dated. Yeah. Where does it say that? I want to show you. A recurring motif in pre-dynastic and proto-dynastic art, that's the boat. See, here's a similar one from another place. You can see them on vases as well. Oh, it's not carbon dating. Sorry, my mistake. To determine the age of the panel, the researcher compared the style of the engraving with other depictions of boats found on ceramics, ceremonial palettes, and other artistic media from the time. This is in Antiquity Journal. I don't think I have it up here. But so sorry. This is typological dating. Okay, typological dating. I don't know where I got the carbon dating from, but yes. So that's why they think it's from pre-dynastic times. Anyway, that's an interesting find. Let's see what else we got here in your comments. How cool is this? Wow. Yo, that's insane. I was watching some digs in Sudan, I want to say, which is connected to ancient Egypt. Yes, Sudan is a little bit dangerous to travel in right now in some parts, but I do want to go there someday. Inside the ship, not inside, on the deck. All right, let's take a look at another one. Archaeologists dig into possible traces of Trojan War in Turkey's legendary city. Yeah, I've been to Troy as well. You probably saw my episode on Troy where I go through all the ruins with you. That was last year, I think. Yeah, check that out when you get a chance. But they're still digging there. Now, here's the thing about Troy, everybody. Hisarlik is the name of the site. Ever since Heinrich Schliemann found it and proclaimed it to be Troy, there has been a little bit of skepticism about it. Well, maybe more than a little bit with some people. But I think the impression I get is that most people think, yeah, it's probably Troy. However, they also admit there isn't a whole lot of evidence for a Trojan War there. Okay. Now, yes, there are different layers of the city. There's destruction levels in the city, and there's one particular destruction level, 7A, I think it is, that they think is probably the Trojan War, but they haven't found a lot of signs of the war itself other than the destruction, right? Well, recent discoveries just announced this month have shown that they have found now some evidence for some fighting. Okay, they're still working on it, but this year's excavations are zooming in on what archaeologists refer to as the destruction layer of the Late Bronze Age, roughly dated to the 13th century BC. That's associated with the Trojan War, right? Past work near the palace and defensive walls had revealed a number of war-related artifacts, including arrowheads, okay? But that's not much, okay? Fire, but actually I think the fire is mostly on other levels, okay? But now they found these. I'm going to say, what? Those are just some stones. Yeah, but they're sling stones, okay? These are stones that were used for slingers, you know? Actually, no, they would have gone like this. This is slingshot. No, this is like this, okay? And this is used in battle, and they believe this is from the time of the Trojan War level. So this is more evidence of fighting that was going on at the time. Okay, sling stones point to military activity near the palace. Okay. The fact that so many sling stones were uncovered in such a small area in front of the palace points to an activity related to defense or assault. Yeah. So they're still digging. Hopefully they'll find more things, you know. I don't know if they're going to find anything that says Agamemnon was here, but maybe more evidence of battle. Yeah. Let's see. Bobby says, Darknaze says Wilusha. Yeah, that's right. That's the ancient name of Troy. Bobby says, interesting Egyptian boats. Boat building cultures need forests for wooden shipbuilding, and Egypt lacks forest. Well, yes, but they did import the timber from basically what is now Lebanon. We have references to the Egyptians importing that. Now that's in later dynastic times. In pre-dynastic times, maybe they had trees, more back then because it was Egypt was gradually desertifying. Is that the right word? Over time, so it would have been greener in earlier times. Helen did some of it. Just saying, from 30 B's. Yeah, if the stories are true, you definitely need a line of slingers. Yeah. Aren't there Hittite writings from the time saying as much as there was a conflict? No. There was an April Fool's joke, I think in 2024, that they said they found Hittite writings that mentioned the Trojan War, but it was an April Fool's joke. Yeah, but media outlets were publishing it, saying that it was found, and it's actually not true. I believed it even when I first read it. Yeah. There are Hittite writings that mention the Achaeans or the Achiawa. We believe that means Achaeans, and Achaeans are the type of Greeks that were fighting in the Trojan War and are mentioned in Homer. But that's the best we got. Good evening, everybody. Says Jerry. I practice sling, by the way. Oh, cool. Aubrey says the Romans used slings. I believe they found a bunch in Scotland with little holes in them that make them sound terrifying. Very interesting. Well, Han Solo tried it. All right, let's take a look at another one. And this is kind of related, although not really. This is the way they announce it here in the headline. Trojan War era, but it actually is not anywhere near Troy, okay? They just want to make it sound good. This is from the Trojan War era, but it is from the same time, around 1200 BCE in Czechia, okay? So it's a bit north of there, all right? But they found some armor. This is Bronze Age armor, and here you can see it right here. This is various bronze artifacts, okay? And this is a reconstruction of the armor. I really don't think that that's the actual artifact. I think that's a reconstruction by computer. But they did find... Oh, here's a bit... Well, that's a bit of a bronze artifact. These are the only pictures I've got. But I think that's reconstructed bronze armor. I could be wrong. It doesn't label it, Doesn't say. The Brno City Museum has unveiled a rare fragment of bronze armor. See, a fragment of bronze armor. So that's probably just a reconstruction of it there. The damaged piece of chest armor, part of a buried hoard that included a spearhead, sickle, bronze pin, and other metal artifacts, was discovered in 2023, but now they've been studied, and it was just announced that they've figured out that this is part of a suit of armor. I don't know if it's a suit of armor, but a chest plate, anyway. This particular photo here, this is computer generated, is new. So that's why I'm including it in this month's news. Yeah. Han slinged first. Time is just a block of builder's life in a pyramid rock. Found the channel yesterday. I love it. Wanted to be an archaeologist as a child, and this is exactly the right mix of information and entertainment. Oh, glad you found us, John. I hope you enjoy. All right, let's take a look at another one. Okay. You know about the Antikythera device, right? The Antikythera Mechanism. It was found in the Antikythera shipwreck. Well, you think, that's all over and done with, right? They excavated the shipwreck. They're done looking at it. Everything's, completed. No. They're still working on the Antikythera rack. Well, they've gone back to it, I should say. Yeah, the 2025 excavation campaign on the Antikythera shipwreck, conducted from May 15th to June 12th, led to the recovery of several still-connected fragments of the ship's hull. These elements will help answer key questions about ancient shipbuilding. Now, you might be saying, I want to know more about the mechanism. Well, They didn't find any other parts of the mechanism, if that's what you were wondering about. But they have found wooden fragments, which is pretty cool, and other finds as well. So you can see here, let's take a look at some of the pics. So you can see here, can I scroll? Yeah, let's see. Wouldn't it be cool to be an underwater archaeologist? If you love scuba diving, this would be like a great job. Shout out to ClickSpring for the work on the Antitherus device. Yeah, I believe they did a replica, right? Living by the sea, finding stones is quite easy. Took me some time to figure that spherical ones aren't good. Oh yeah, for the slings. Look at this. And then here you have some of the fragments of some things that have been found recently here in the 2025 excavation campaign. Yeah. Sculpture fragments, variety in the cargo. All right. And all the when I say advanced technology here, this is not like they found more of the Antikythera mechanism. This is about the technology they use to get the material and to examine it. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. All right, let's look at another one. Rare intact Etruscan tomb in Italy discovered by international Baylor-led archaeological research team. This is from Baylor University, which of course is an American university. Yeah, now Etruscans, you probably know about Etruscans. They kind of preceded the Romans in Italy as being like the major power, at least in central Italy. And not many Etruscan tombs have been found intact, so I don't even know. Yeah, I'm not sure how many at all, but this one was. Okay, so to find one that's intact and have the objects in it in such good condition is an amazing find. David Zori is the archaeologist in charge. The San Giuliano Archaeological Research Project. Yeah. A rare intact Etruscan chamber tomb in central Italy. A discovery hailed as one of the most significant finds in recent decades for understanding the ancient pre-Roman civilization. The sealed chamber tomb, about 70 kilometers northwest of Rome, dates back 2,600 years. Yeah, inside the undisturbed tomb, the remains of 4 individuals lay on carved stone beds. So it was a family tomb, surrounded by more than 100 remarkably well-preserved grave goods, including ceramic vases, iron weapons, bronze ornaments, delicate silver hair spools. Yeah, and there you can see the outside. Let's look at some pictures, huh? There he is, the project director, at the entrance to the tomb. And there it is inside. There's some other people working. Geraldine Morrison, Hannah Payne, washed the pottery in situ. That means on site at the entrance of the tomb. And there is David Zori again. Jamie April. And you can see a close-up there of some of the intact pottery. Isn't that great? And then they're back at the lab. You know, archaeology continues after excavation when you have to study all the artifacts, catalog them, record everything. Look at that beautiful bowl or tray or whatever that is. Looks like a bowl. Oh, a calyx. Oh, yeah. So isn't that cool? Great find. If you're interested in the Etruscans especially, which I am. Did they make a replica using period tools? Oh, you know, the armor? I don't think so, Aubrey. Oh, Rad, thank you so much for the donation. Appreciate it. Yeah, that's a good reminder. If you are interested in supporting the channel, it is 100% audience supported. I mean, occasionally I'll get a brand deal and I'll do a commercial. These are usually for like one time, get a few $100 or something like that. But most of my income, because this is my full-time job, comes from you. So if you want to help out the channel, it'd be much appreciated. And it goes towards keeping it going and making more videos and making them better and all of that. So thank you, Rad. Appreciate that. let's see, shiny bowls. Yes. Look, the ones that the archaeologists found. They are perfect. Yeah. Oh, that ship. Yes, the Antitherus shipwreck has provided a lot of information and a host of new questions. That's right, Guillermo. All right. Let's look at another one here. Ancient rituals revealed. 6,000-year-old complex found in Turkey. Look at this one, huh? Look at that site. An aerial view of Tadium Castle and Mound, Elazığ, eastern Turkey. Look at that. Okay, so anyway, they have uncovered a 6,000-year-old temple complex. Now think about that age for a minute there, folks. We're talking about 4,000 BCE, so this is a long time ago. And this is like prior to urbanization in the area, just prior, not long before. But yeah. So this year, excavations were conducted in the 88-81 grid areas. Okay, and here a temple dating back to the late Chalcolithic and early Bronze Ages was uncovered. Among the most significant finds in the temple complex was a blood channel, which contained both human and animal bones. Human and animal bones, along with an altar stone marked with knife cuts. These discoveries are interpreted as evidence that both humans and animals were sacrificed to the gods in accordance with the religious practices of that period. Wow. Yeah, so you probably, I don't know if you knew this, but, you know, human sacrifice was practiced in Mesopotamia in early times. They didn't keep it, okay, but they did have it in early times. Yeah, I don't know if you know about the tombs of Ur. There were human sacrifices that were found there, okay? So they were doing it. Can you believe that? Artifacts believed to be offerings to the gods right here. And those ones look like, yeah, see how that big one is pieced together? That's also what archaeologists do. They take all the fragments, they figure out how they went together, and they glue them back together. Yeah. So that you and I can see. Yeah. This year we discovered a temple area, which we can say is the first temple in our city and region. And there's some other artifacts. So that's a pretty interesting... Oh, is there another picture? No. That's a pretty interesting discovery, huh? Blood channel. Yes, that's right, Hearthfire. Surely eaten too. Well, I don't know about that. Well, animals might have been. So I don't know. My ancestors are from Eastern Turkey. All right. Well, I wonder about your ancestors. Old-fashioned Lego. Yes, that's right. All right. Let's take a look at another one. All right. Ancient tomb of Korean hostage prince found in China. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you probably knew this, but on occasion, well, actually not just on occasion, it was customary in some places for princes or princesses, but usually princes, I think. Princesses you can marry off, but princes would often go to another country in a diplomatic exchange. You know, one country would send their prince to this country, and then they'd send a prince to their country, and they'd live there, and they'd live well in the palace and all that, and they'd be treated really well, okay? But they weren't allowed to leave, okay? So that's why I call them hostages. And they were there to ensure that both countries didn't do anything that the other country didn't like, okay? Yeah, well, anyway, this hostage from Korea, his tomb was found in Xi'an. Now, Xi'an is nowhere near Korea, by the way, but it was the capital of China in the Tang Dynasty. And this is from the Tang Dynasty. Okay, so this is Tang Dynasty was from 618 to 907 CE, and so this hostage prince, I don't think they killed him or anything. I think, well, I'm sure, I don't remember now, but I don't think he died, you know, by murder or anything. But he was part of the hostage system. He was the prince of Shilla, which is a Korean kingdom at the time. The tomb is a single-chamber earthen cave featuring a long-sloped entrance passage and a skylight shaft. It had a knife-shaped layout. Okay? They unearthed 83 burial objects. And you can see a head-on view from the top over here. Yeah. There was an epitaph that tells us who it was. Okay. And it was made from blue stone. It features a square base and domed cover decorated with cloud and floral patterns. And the inscription says, Epitaph of the late Lord Kim of the Great Tong. And it has his life on there. It says he was born in 747. He died in 794 at the age of 48 in the Taiping Li guest residence in Chang'an. Chang'an was the name of Xi'an back then. Yeah. His family served as hostages for 3 consecutive generations, holding official positions within the Tang administration. It even mentions his wife. But now I'm trying to figure out how he died. Does it not say? Maybe it doesn't say in the epitaph how he died. Interesting. But isn't that cool? Hey, Sean, thank you for the donation. I appreciate it very much. And you have a question along with it. A statement. I wish we knew more about Maltese temple builders. Well, actually, Sean, I was going to share this last month, but I had too many news items and I didn't. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't last month. Oh, it was in my recent video on the greatest historical discoveries of the last year. Within the last year, there was a study done on the Malta temples, an astronomical study, and this is done by real academics, mind you, not others. So basically, try to find it if you can, but it does update kind of our understanding of the orientation of the temples you might be interested in. Yeah. Hello from Panama. All right. We got someone from Panama here. The Romans make that a science. Arminius was such a hostage. Oh, yes. Yes, indeed. 3,000 a month in Manhattan. Oh, is that what the rent is? Oh, my gosh. That cave was just for parties. Film was pretty expensive at that point. You guys are talking about some things I don't know. Guest residence equals posh prison. That's right, Stuart. All right, let's look at another one here. Unique Celtic settlement discovered near Hradec Králové. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Yes, Czech archaeologists have announced a major discovery. During a rescue excavation along the future route of the D35 motorway, as they were making the road, they found this, okay? They unearthed a Celtic settlement unprecedented in Czechia for both its size and the number of artifacts uncovered. So here you can see, okay, the excavation site. The site dates back more than 2,000 years to the Latin period, when the Celts, specifically the Boii tribe, lived in the region. And it's from this tribe that the Czech lands are believed to take their name. Bohemia, Bohemia, traditional name of Czechia, the Boii tribe. That's right, boy. Okay. Tomáš Mangel, an archaeologist from the University of Hradec Králové, explains the settlement was active from the very end of the 3rd century BC and ended in the early 1st century BC. It represents what we call a central agglomeration, a settlement with key economic and social functions. Yeah, so you can see some of the images here. Can I click on some? Yeah. Look at that. Wood. Preserved wood. Isn't that cool? Let's see here. Look at that. Makes you want to be an archaeologist, doesn't it? It's hard work, though, folks. It's hard work. All right. That's why I chose to be a historian. I get to sit in the library. A bit of a stretch with the bronze fragments reconstructed as a full chest cuirass, but at least plausible. Yeah, you wonder how much imagination is involved there, don't you, Scully? I'll be the guy who says Bohemia is named after the Boii tribe. Oh, did you say that before me? Maybe you did. Okay, so you beat me to it. Canadian 3000 in Toronto. Really interesting. People are love to talk about rents, I guess. Dracul is just part of the settlement. I'm not sure what one you're talking about there. I love this. Thank you for your work, says Josephine. Thank you. Appreciate that. Ah, yes, the Bohemians. All right, let's look at another one. Palace and tomb of a Thracian dynasty discovered in the center of Vratsa. Okay, so this is in northwestern Bulgaria. Archaeologists made a discovery in the center of the city. You can kind of see it looks like it's in the middle of a city. The palace and tomb of the ruler of the Tribali, a powerful Thracian tribe. The royal center has been the subject of speculation and searches for more than half a century. So now they have found something. They had found 3 tombs nearby at the Mogilanska Mound, if I'm saying that right, that had a chariot in it. Yeah. All right, so yeah, a magnificent structure appeared, carefully shaped stone blocks, ashlars, perfectly aligned without mortar. This is clearly dry masonry of impressive craftsmanship. So it's a king's tomb. So hopefully, if they can find an inscription, they'll learn about who that king might be. Hey, Sebastian, thank you so much. Greetings from Brittany, France. Well, thank you. I appreciate the donation very much. Helping to support the channel. Oh, if you want to support the channel in another way, folks, I do have some merch, you know. Hey, what do you think of this, huh? World of Antiquity hat. Okay? Yeah, it's there's a link to my store underneath the video. I know some people get irritated when I plug myself, but this is how I make a living, okay? And hey, if you like to wear it backwards, you can do that too. See, it looks just as good. All right? Or if you're the side kind of guy, you know, that's all right too. But anyway, check that out when you get a chance. Okay, let's take a look at another piece of news here. Hymn to Babylon discovered. Now, I don't know if you know this or not, but there are thousands of cuneiform tablets that have been discovered, and they're archived. They've been cataloged, but they haven't all been translated. Well, recently, someone translated one that had not yet been translated, and this comes from around 1000 BCE, and you can see it. It had to be pieced together, and it's not even the whole thing, as you can see from the image. Let me give you a close-up shot of it here. That looks like it's a little bit distorted. Okay, but there you can see the tablet. All right. Well, this is one of the things you do as a historian, not as an archaeologist. If you're a historian, you can try to get into these places to decipher some of the texts and translate them into English and so forth. Well, this time, the researcher Enrique Jimenez, okay, from the University of Baghdad, from LMU. He went to the University of Baghdad to do this. I guess it's in Iraq. I know Baghdad's in Iraq. I mean, I guess the cuneiform tablet's in Iraq. And he deciphered this tablet, but he used AI to help him. Yeah, using our AI-supported platform, we managed to identify 30 other manuscripts that belong to the rediscovered hymn. So, in other words, not only did this particular tablet have to be pieced together, but there were other copies of the hymn, which you can also use to piece together missing pieces of the hymn, okay? And it was AI that helped them to do that, okay? And guess what? There's a translation right down here. Look at this, okay? The Euphrates is her river. This is the part that, this is only an excerpt of it. It's not the whole thing. Established by wise lord Nudimud, this is a god. It quenches the Leah, saturates the canebrake. You know what? I don't even know what a Leah is. Disgorges its waters into lagoon and sea. Its fields burgeon with her herbs and flowers. Its meadows in brilliant bloom sprout barley, from which gathered sheaves are stacked. Herds and flocks lie on verdant pastures. Wealth and splendor, what befit mankind, are bestowed, multiplied, and regally granted. Isn't that cool? I just love it when We have new literature from ancient times. It's fantastic. And what will happen is, ultimately, this will get put into anthologies that students read in school and so forth. So that's great. Absolutely wonderful. So good job, Professor Enrique Jimenez, on that one. Scully, thank you so much for the $5. I appreciate it. Thank you. Iraq, such treasures vault. Too bad it is a disaster. I'm not sure what you mean, Josephine. I do know. Oh, are you talking about how previously the museums were looted and destroyed and all that? Many artifacts were destroyed. That was a terrible thing. As close to a Babylonian anthem as we can be, sure. Oh, pronounced Lee, it means open grassland. Thank you, Hearthfire. You'd think I would know that. It's not a common term, though, I think. Maybe it is. Hello, David. Chad, hope all is we. Thanks, Bronze Age Caveman. On the prior one... Oh, barley, they were drinkers then. Oh, yeah, Stuart. On the prior one, did the article say what type of soil it was in? Preserved buried wood of that age is rare. Would like to know about the joinery. Oh, I don't know. Where was that? Was that this one? Yeah. It doesn't say on the photo. So I'm not sure. But I'll leave the links for all of these afterward, and you can go check it out, see if you can see what you can dig up. Okay? So to speak. All right, here's another one. Bright side, 3,000-year-old mural depicting fish, stars, and plants discovered in Peru. Yeah, this is from a pre-Inca society, okay? This says pre-Hispanic, but actually I think it's pre-Inca, you know? Located 580 kilometers from the capital of Lima, the work found in an ancient temple is decorated with images of fish, stars, fishing nets, and plants. So you can see one of the images here. Yeah, it dates back more than 3,000 years. So we're talking about 1,000 BCE. Inside a temple at the Huaca Yolanda Archaeological Site. And here you can see a part of it as well. See how they did a dig down to uncover it? Yeah, this is prior to the Inca, folks. So I'm not sure what culture they're calling it. But the mural is more than 5 meters long and 2 meters high. We had never before found iconography or drawings of this type. Well, maybe it's a new type site then. Might be a newly discovered culture. Isn't that cool? It was buried by the same people who constructed it to build another space on top. A common practice among ancient Peruvian civilizations. So look at that. So I'm interested to know more about this site and what else they find there, because it could be a brand new culture that we don't know about, you know. Bobby says there's still more out there to be deciphered. That's right. Let's see. I absolutely love new updates. Much appreciate for this, me being a history junkie. I'm glad I could be of help, Guillermo. Clear water, it was probably an oxygen-deprived environment. Probably Scarab Chronicles, probably. All right. The ancient Canaanites, in case you don't know, the ancient Canaanites lived in Canaan, which is in the Levant, on the eastern Mediterranean seaboard, and they are, of course, mentioned in the Bible. Anyway, new study suggests the 3,000-year-old Canaanite custom... Oh, there's a custom that they're talking about here. And the custom is, see that what you see here? This is a site called Azeka. They would take 2 bowls and a lamp, and they would bury them together. They'd put the lamp between the 2 bowls. It was a burial custom in the house. Okay? They found it at multiple sites. A ceramic lamp concealed between 2 bowls that had been carefully buried beneath the floors of temples, palaces, and private homes. It's like very strange ritual, right? Why have this custom? Okay. Foundation deposits are quite common. So it is what we call a foundation deposit. There's different kinds. This is one peculiar kind that is practiced here in Canaan, right? But they have foundation deposits of other sorts in different places. They're generally interpreted, as a propitiatory offering to the supernatural entities. Okay. that a particular culture believes have the power to protect one's dwelling. So this is called the lamp and bowl offering. But they always wondered about it and where the custom came from and all of that. Well, this new study, okay, has determined, all right, that this came from Egypt. And the reason is because they have dated the usage of this particular burial custom to the time when the Egyptians were ruling over Canaan. Okay, it appears for the first time when the Egyptians were ruling over Canaan. Yeah. And so they believe, or this is to the 13th to 12th centuries BCE. Okay, and they last up until about the 9th century. So they go beyond when the Egyptians were ruling them. They continued it, but it seems to have appeared during the New Kingdom of Egypt. So they believe it was an Egyptian custom. Yeah. Now, why is this found in Egypt as well? Apparently, it is found in Egypt. Okay. I don't know if it's as widespread in Egypt. Maybe I think they found it in maybe some Egyptian settlements near the Levant. But anyway, and they're not identical either. But anyway, so that's what the conclusion of this new study is. And if you want to read about it, you can. Okay. So yeah. Let's see. People used to fawn over rivers, kind of how today we fawn over internet connection. Went out too long without one. Yeah. Okay, you guys are talking about the wood. Okay, I see. The earliest known forms of bowling date back to ancient Egypt. Oh, yeah. Keep the spirits from the dark underworld out. That's right, Stuart. Foundation deposits like the burying of horse bones, shoes, metal plats, etc. Yes. Hey, Imperiused, thank you so much for the donation. That newly translated hymn is my favorite news story from July. All right. I'm glad you like it as much as I do. Well, let's see if you like the next one. Ancient tombs and 2-meter sarcophagus with hieroglyphics. Actually, it's hieroglyphs. People misuse this word. Okay? The actual writing is called hieroglyphs, not hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphic is an adjective, you know. If it has to do with hieroglyphs, it's hieroglyphic, okay? But somehow this term hieroglyphics got caught on, you know. Unearthed near Aga Khan Mausoleum in Aswan. So this is another one from southern Egypt, from Aswan. Here's the entranceway to one of the tombs. A joint Egyptian-Italian archaeological team have unearthed a significant collection of ancient rock-cut tombs near the Aga Khan Mausoleum on Aswan's west bank. Yeah, these are from the Greco-Roman period, okay? So they're later in Egyptian history, I guess you could say. They're still ancient, though. Among the most striking finds is Tomb 38. I think that's this one in the picture. Carved deep into the hillside and accessed via a 9-step staircase. Inside the chamber, archaeologists discovered a 2-meter tall limestone sarcophagus intricately carved with the likeness of a high-ranking official named Camesio. Here's Camesio right here. Look at that. I love that close-up. Yeah. This is from the lid of the sarcophagus. It's got his face on it. Isn't that cool? Flanking the sarcophagus are 2 vertical columns of well-preserved hieroglyphic inscriptions. Now, you can say that because the inscriptions are hieroglyphic. It's an adjective, right? Invoking local Aswan deities and referencing Camesio's family members. Yeah. Here you can see some art. Look at this. This is decorative part of the tomb. I think it's on the wall. Anyone know who that is? That is well, let's see in the chat if you know who that is. It's a god, in case you hadn't guessed, okay? Did they find the underground city? Which underground city? Which underground city? In Europe, people used to bury a lightning stone under a new home. This stone had nothing to do with lightning, by the way. Who can guess what it was? Ooh, I didn't know about lightning stones. Jerry? That stone head in Orkney looks interesting. Everyone knows the underground city isn't real. It's under the ocean. Underwater city? He's smiling, but doesn't look that happy. I wonder if he was holding that pose for the sculptor. I don't know. Party bird? No, not party bird. This is the ibis-headed god Thoth, I believe. Yeah. Anyway, pretty cool. All right, let's look at another one here. Ancient horse bones shatter myths about medieval Christian diets. Now, you might say, wait a minute, this is medieval. I know, but it goes into ancient times, and that's why I have it in here, okay? So, here's what we thought, okay? That Christianity, Roman Catholicism in particular, banned the eating of horses. And therefore, people stopped eating horse meat after the Roman period, okay? So at the end of the Roman period, people stopped eating horse meat because the church said, All right? Well, they did some studying here. Actually, now that I think about it, the studies of medieval settlements, I shouldn't really even have this in here this month. Because it's actually medieval. But anyway, I can at least tell you. They studied these settlements, and what they found was that people were eating horses well into the medieval period, well after ancient times. So even though the church had poo-pooed it, people were still doing it. And the reason they probably stopped doing it is after the wars with the Mongols, because apparently, let's see, that would be the 1200s. The aftermath of the catastrophe rippled through every corner of Hungarian life, including the dinner plate. Horses were valuable war booty. The Mongols probably took the horses, so maybe it has something to do with that. I don't know what I was thinking when I put this medieval story in here, but nothing against medieval times, of course. All right, let's go on to another one. Tokyo University team may have unearthed first Roman emperor's bathhouse. Okay. Now this site we've known about for a while, and the people who have been excavating it have surmised that it belonged to Augustus Caesar, the very first emperor of Rome. And more and more, they are finding evidence to support that proposal. Okay? So this was just announced on July 2nd. Okay? What appears to be 5 large furnaces, presumed to have served as boilers to heat an enormous bath, were discovered in the building. Okay? The researchers point out that Augustus, who boasted immense power as the founder of the Roman Empire, may have used the building as a guest house featuring a luxurious public bathhouse, or thermae, for entertaining influential people. See, the bigger and grander this place ends up being, the more likely it is to be the emperor's, right? The 3,650 square meter ruins were buried beneath volcanic ash at the Somma Vesuviana site, located at the northern foot of Mount Vesuvius. So it was destroyed at that time. But I think the research began there. Yeah, there was a survey in 2002, but since 2019, they've been excavating it. The ruins are in an area once ruled by the Augustus family. There has never been a case where 5 large furnaces have been excavated from an Italian site. It makes sense as an explanation that no one else but the emperor could make such a magnificent feat possible. So that's their proposal. We'll see what happens, but that's what they think. Octavian was a bit of a jerk. Yeah, well, I think all the emperors kind of were, except maybe Trajan. I don't know. Banning of eating of horses didn't reach the Rhineland. Till today, original sauerbraten is made from horse. Interesting. Dang, Roman Emperor had a bathhouse at Tokyo U. Not quite. All right. Didn't Pliny the Elder die in Pompeii? That's right, he did. It could have been like a vacation home. That's right, yeah. All right, let's go to another one here. New light on the stone alignments in the Carnac region. So here, this is in Brittany, France. Hey, we've got someone from Brittany here, or we did. All right, this is in Brittany. Okay, the Carnac stones. These are megalithic. They go way back. Okay, but exactly when? Well, a new study has determined their age. Okay, a French-Swedish collaboration, okay, led by the University of Gothenburg, okay. The alignments now appear to be among the earliest megalithic monuments in Europe, with this section constructed between 4600 and 4300 calibrated years BC. This is a carbon date. We also have confirmed the Bay of Morbihan as the earliest megalithic region in Europe. So basically what they're saying is, and there's more than 3,000 standing stones in the region, that these were put up prior to all megalithic sites that have yet been discovered in Europe, including Stonehenge, folks. Okay, so that's the big news. Yeah, nearly 50 radiocarbon dates and the application of Bayesian statistical modeling. Now they know the site's history, and several alignments of the standing stones were dated to those times, which is very early. That's over 6,000 years ago. So if you want to know now what the earliest standing stones in Europe are, here they are. Hey, Cool Clear Water, thank you so much for the generous $20. I appreciate it. Thank you, you say. These are great family time for us. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. With our great-grandfather, many family members join to watch. We catch them whenever we can. Add this to the snack fund for your next field trip. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you've been enjoying these broadcasts here on the archaeological discoveries. All right. Yeah, that's pretty cool about the Karnak stones, huh? All right. I have 4 more discoveries I want to share with you. A millennia-old network of fortified walled oases discovered in the Arabian desert. Okay, look at this here. An international team of archaeologists has discovered a network of oases surrounded by walls and fortified, some over 4,000 years old. This complex reveals a sophisticated strategy for survival and power in one of the planet's most hostile environments, the Arabian desert. Yeah. This is a reconstruction. Yeah, a 3D reconstruction. You're not looking at a photograph here, okay? But this is how large the oasis is, okay? Yeah, and they found evidence of a wall going around massive oases like this in the desert. Can you believe that? The walls were not just defensive. They were a symbol of power that required enormous collective effort to build and maintain over centuries. Well, right, you don't want just anybody walking into your oasis, I guess. You gotta have a wall up, okay? And only let the people that you like inside, okay? Yeah, the walls were up to 2 meters thick and included watchtowers. All right, here you can see the location of a lot of these oases in the desert. Yeah. The study confirmed the existence of 4 previously unknown walled oases. And it gives us the names here and their dates. Look at Khaybar dates to between 2250 and 1950 BCE. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So we're going back to the Bronze Age for some of these. And some of them were used much later too. But a lot of them go way back. Arabian Bronze Age. Interesting. That's right, Mark. And I don't want to leave out my friend Hugh Thomas, because he's with another archaeological team that's working in the same area. And in March, I didn't mention this in my March broadcast, but in March they published this study on the Bronze Age tombs from Northwest Arabia, typological study, including Khaybar, which is one of the places I just mentioned. And they have a chronology of how they figure out how old these places are. So it's not the easiest read for a general audience, but I think you can follow it if you'd be interested. So I'll leave that up there too. Okay. The pyramids of Poland. All right. Notice it's in quotes here, okay? Because they're not actually pyramids. Okay. But I guess it's a good way to get people to click on the story. But they are 5,500-year-old tombs. That's something, huh? Oh, walls can slow down sand? That's right, Jerry. Maybe they're there for that purpose too. I'm not sure. Maybe the wall was also for livestock. That could be as well. Although I think you don't need to build a huge wall for livestock. You could have pens, but maybe. All All right, archaeologists in Poland have discovered a set of 5,500-year-old triangular structures that have been nicknamed Polish pyramids. I don't know if that's supposed to be a dig or not, and which contain megalithic tombs from one of the region's oldest sedentary agricultural societies. The mounds were discovered in the Wielkopolska province by researchers from Adam Mickiewicz University. Yeah, so you can see some of the images here. Oh, that's taking me to Facebook. But anyway, I wanted to see closer to these pictures. Can't see a whole lot there. But anyway, they are elongated earth mounds up to 200 meters long, constructed in the form of an elongated triangle, like you see in that picture. Yeah. And yeah, there's a... this is a different burial mound, but it's giving you the idea of what the burial mounds look like in a triangular shape. But yeah, so I thought that was an interesting discovery as well. And then finally, we have a monumental 3,800-year-old warrior kurgan discovered in Azerbaijan. Yeah, so this is from Baku State University and ADA University, who have worked on this site. Now, this is another burial mound, okay? Western Azerbaijan. It's Middle Bronze Age. Kurgan is the type of tomb it is. Believed to be the burial site of a towering warrior. And you can see some images here. Let's take a look. So here's the burial of the warrior himself, who apparently was rather tall. Why did it switch on you? Okay. And you can see some of the pottery discovered here. And there's him, the skeleton, and a spear point. Anyway. Yeah. A kurgan is a type of ancient burial mound often constructed by Eurasian nomadic cultures such as the Scythians, Sarmatians, and early Turkic peoples. They typically contain the remains of warriors or high-ranking individuals, often accompanied by personal belongings. They're more than graves. They're ritual spaces reflecting belief in the afterlife, social structure, and spiritual symbolism. Yeah, and then it has a little bit here about the warrior, and he was over 2 meters tall, so pretty tall guy, in a semi-flex position. Yeah, the spearhead was found in his hand. Isn't that interesting? So that was the last one I chose for you. So those are just some of the discoveries from just this month, July, right? And it shows that every month we are updating history. We are learning more. History is being rewritten all the time from these discoveries. Yeah. Try to keep a goat with a small wall. Try, I'll watch. Okay, Jerry. Okay, I get your point. I saw that. 6 foot 7 inches. Yeah, Bobby. That's what 2 meters comes out to be, I assume? Towering warrior, proof of giants? Oh, could be. They can be happy they didn't have the Iberian ibex climbing natural stone walls of dams. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What are the defining characteristics that make a kurgan a kurgan? Material, shape, orientation? I think a bunch of things, right? It would be the shape, how it's made, what's in it, what they're buried with. I think all of that, make up a kurgan. But I'm not an expert on kurgan, so I couldn't tell you exactly. Yeah. Anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed that. After I get off, I'll put on all the list of all the links with all the information if you want to check up on it. If you want to buy one of these hats, you can do that on my merch channel, with the link is below. If you want to come with me to Mesoamerica on an amazing trip to discover the origins of Mesoamerican civilizations, there's a link below for that too. So thank you so much. I appreciate all the donations, and we'll see you next month for another edition of Archaeology News.